The head coach who's in charge of bringing in this class is Kirk Ferentz. He joins us now from Iowa City. Kirk, listen, the people who follow recruiting love this class, put it up there as one of the best you've ever brought in. How do you summarize what this class is?
Well, we feel really good about it, and I'm not big on ranking them, but this has been a really unique year. You look back a year ago, the class that we signed, you look at the conditions they had to go through when they got on campus. Really, they couldn't go to class because summer school pretty much got canceled, and a lot of really strange turns. So these guys have really done an impressive job since they got here in June. And then same thing with this class. You think about the conditions for recruiting. Everything got shut down pretty much in mid-March. So it's been a whole different world of recruiting, and it's kind of interesting. Obviously, we haven't been able to have face-to-face contact since that time, but we've probably had more contact just because we had less to do as coaches. There was no spring ball. Players didn't get back till June. So in some strange way, we almost feel like we know this class better in a deeper way. And, the entire staff's really thrilled about each and every one of the 17 guys that are signed.
That's really interesting. You think you might have a better grasp on this. It would have struck me that it would have been harder because there weren't in-person meetings. There were less games for you to see this past year. You think it might actually be the opposite?
I do, only because I can tell you, usually in the spring, I'm working, coaching the guys here. And, we didn't have it available to us in April, May, June. So we got to spend a lot more time visiting with prospects and their families, answering questions. And, so it's in some strange way, it almost worked out. Obviously, the best thing in recruiting is getting prospects on your campus. And we had a handful of them come here and just drive through town and, get a feel for town without us being able to say hello to them or what have you. But, and that was a first also. But, I think, ultimately, we're all living a little bit differently this year, and really happy with the group. And then the other thing, there was, some shots being fired out there back in the spring, early spring. And I can't say enough about the way the recruits handled it. They didn't none of them flipped. They just kept asking questions, and we answered questions, and we got them good, accurate information. So I'm really appreciative of the way they've stuck with us, and that means a lot to all of us. I think on this staff, we're really excited to get these guys on campus when the time's appropriate.
Well, what stands out so much with this class has to be up at the top, the offensive linemen you are bringing on. David Kov, Colby, Stevens. What do you see in those guys?
Well, just we liked each and every one of them, and they're all a little bit different stories, certainly. But, some of them have been in camp. As you notice, our whole class is probably as Midwestern as we've had. Joey Labas is the only guy that really had a lengthy drive, 10 hours to get here. But so a lot of these guys we had ties with 2 years ago, and had them in camp, got to know them a little bit. And but one thing's ability, one thing is seeing the guys on tape, but just getting to know them a little bit and getting a feel for their character. Projecting what their work ethic will be, on the level of pride, those types of things. That stuff's all really important, especially with the offensive linemen.
What about the other side of the line? What excites you in guys like Justice Sullivan or Max Llewellyn?
I think a lot of guys that have a chance to really develop. We just had Chauncey Golston recognized, and Chauncey was a skinny kid that, we were more focused on Cedric Lattimore. Full disclosure, when we recruited Chauncey, then we figured out, hey, this guy's a prospect also. And, Chauncey's done a great job for us. And I think we have some guys like that on that defensive line. Max is a really high motor guy. You watch him on film. He plays really hard, but I think that whole group kind of has some of those tendencies and traits. So, we think they're guys that are going to grow in our program. We're really excited about it.
You got a quarterback from Ohio, Joey Labas. What do you see in him?
Yeah, again, I think he was committed to a MAC school, and we went through the process, and Ken O'Keefe is really in charge of that, and he's very methodical and sometimes very deliberate on the way he goes about it. But Joe was a guy that he really settled in on, and then Joe went on, had a great season this year, really led his team to a lot of good things, and we're just really impressed with him. Just think he's got a chance to be a really good football player, and anxious to get him in the program. And one thing about quarterbacks, you like to see guys that come from a winning program. It's usually a good sign.
Well, I tell you what, the way that you guys ended the season was so impressive. Now you top it off with a really good signing day class. Congratulations on that. Thanks for the time, Kirk.
Appreciate that, Mike. Thank you.